you for your patience. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Madam Chair, I move that we reconvene in open session and adopt certification of closed session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The motion does carry.
Certification of closed session. Whereas the Dinwiddie County School Board has convened a closed session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas paragraph 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dinwiddie County School Board hereby certifies that, to the best of each member's knowledge, only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board. J. Sneff, District 1.
I certify.
Betty Haney, District 2.
I certify.
Barbara Pittman, District 3.
I certify.
Mary Benjamin, District 4.
I certify.
Shirley Merritt, District 5.
I certify.
Madam Chair, all certify. Student Representative Grace Jones, present, and Jonathan is absent.
Thank you. At this time, would you please stand for the presentation of colors from the high school JROTC, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Present arms. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
order arms.
I'd like to thank the JROTC as well as the students who are signing. That's a new course at the high school. We appreciate their assisting us. Are there any amendments to the agenda, Ms. Colson?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The motion carries. Personnel list.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the personnel list as presented.
And I need to abstain from the vote.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second and one abstention. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And that motion carries. Student matters.
Madam Chair, I move that we uphold the recommendation of the administration and long-term suspend student number LT-05/23-1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for long-term suspension. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries.
Madam Chair, I move that we uphold the recommendation of the administration and long-term suspend student number LT-05/23-2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation of administration and readmit student number R-05/23-1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The motion carries.
Madam Chair, I move that we honor the parents' request and release student number REL-04/23-1 from compulsory attendance for religious reasons.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries as well. Minutes.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the minutes from April 11th and April 25th, 2023 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The motion carries. Expenditure reports.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the expenditure reports as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. And now for the exciting things tonight, recognitions. First, we have middle school highlights. Mr. Byrd.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, School Board, Dr. Weston, and all assembled stakeholders. It is a privilege and honor to stand before you today. At DMS, we encourage all of our students to consider being involved and actively participate in a variety of clubs that we offer. A study by the United States Department of Education indicates that extracurricular activities do in fact promote academic performance in students and have a positive impact on students' experiences. Dinwiddie Middle School serves a diverse student population of approximately 975 students. Through our extracurricular activities, we strive to build a kind, compassionate, and inclusive environment that all students have the opportunity to be a part of. At this time, I want to thank Ms. Lopez, I want to thank Ms. Clay, and our SCA representatives for putting this together. And at this time, our SCA representatives help. We will now take a look at how the extracurricular offerings at DMS have better served our students and school community. Let's go, Jaheem, Zayana, and Lacey. There you go. I got it. Clicker. Clicker. Yep.
Art Club. Art Club is an after-school club with the goal of bringing together students with artistic interests. In Art Club, students make and discuss artwork and have the creative freedom to explore their interests. Students also play games and have the opportunity to learn artistic techniques and skills. Students in Art Club have the opportunity to explore the Virginia Fine Arts Museum, get a feel for college life at Longwood University, and test their creativity through unique sculptures. Civics Club. Civics Club is for students who want to learn more about government, politics, and economics. Students engage in civic-minded activities and speak to professionals in various lines of work to help prepare them for productive careers after their time with DCPS ends. Students in Civics Club travel to local elementary schools to help fifth graders get a better understanding of how the government works. Distinguished Generals. Established in 2015, the Distinguished Generals Program introduces participants to new skills, public service possibilities, trade and college exploration, and leadership prospects. This year, Distinguished Generals have the opportunity to shop for new attire, counsel weekly with one another, and enjoy a trip to Uptown Alley.
Pearls. Pearls is a mentoring and enrichment program offered to young ladies in the 6th grade. You'll be hearing more about the Pearls program later this evening. FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, is a national student organization available to all students that enroll in a business class. Its primary purpose is to provide leadership training and emphasize entrepreneurship. Their ultimate goal is service, education, and progress. At DMS, our FBLA students enjoy attending conferences, monthly meetings, social events, as well as operating and managing the school store. This year, Kimaria Rainey placed first place in exploring technology at the Virginia FBLA conference and will be attending the national conference in Atlanta this summer. Library team. The library team strives to spread positivity and kindness through sharing quotes and kindness and building community by keeping the library and school a positive and safe space for all students. The library team ensures that students have the opportunity to start their day on an uplifting note. The announcers share words of encouragement, kindness, jokes, and positivity to get the day started right.
Pass It On. The Pass It On Club members, with their sponsor Miss Long, created this bulletin board to remind students of their mission: spread kindness throughout the school and community. Students in the Pass It On Club participated in numerous in-school and community outreach events. This year's events have included a canned food drive at Thanksgiving, which helped feed 6 DMS families, made 5 essentials bags to be distributed to the homeless, and volunteered at the Little Feet Meet / Special Olympics. Yearbook. The Yearbook Club is a group of students who work in pairs and teams to design and lay out the school yearbook. Members take photos, lay out page designs, and work to meet deadlines. Our end product is a full-color, 72-page hand-cover yearbook. Sports. In addition to club activities, DMS also offers students a chance to participate in middle school and high school sports, including our 2022 CQL Southern National Championship football team. Our softball and baseball teams are also competing for the championship this year. Together, the various extracurricular activities offered at DMS have contributed to enriching the academic and social experiences of our students, families, and the Dinwiddie community.
Very good. Thank you so much. We hope our middle school students can stay with us to see the high school presentation so that you'll be aware of the
coming?
activities at the high school too.
I figured I better hurry up. So, first, I would like to show honor to our chair, Ms. Pittman, to all of the board members, to our superintendent, Dr. Clay in her absence, and everyone, and especially to these parents. I just want to give everybody a hand. I'm excited. What I will say, please be patient with us. But at the high school, students are engaged. Teachers are teaching and students are learning. Tonight, I am going to ask you for your patience. We take so much time for everything else. Let's take time for our children. What are students learning? I hear that question all the time. Well, hopefully after tonight, you won't ask that anymore about Dinwiddie High School.
Wow, I've never. Sorry. Wow, I can't believe I'm starting high school next year. I'm really nervous. I wonder what special ed's offering this year.
Hi, my name is Bailey Witt. On May 18th, I will be graduating from Dinwiddie High School. I am here this afternoon to highlight some great things about my time as a special needs student at Dinwiddie High School. As a freshman, I took career awareness class where I learned about different careers. I realized that working with animals is something that I want to do. I want to learn more about animal care and took my first animal system class in 10th grade. I learned many great things about animals, and I love the extra time Miss Bishop allowed me to spend with the animals in the room. I later took small animal care in part 1 in vet science. My junior and senior year, I took part 1 and part 2 of the education of employment class. I was able to work at Justin Animal Care, Animal Hospital, and Angel at Play Daycare Center. I also enjoy working in the school library through the working study program. Next year, I have cited things ahead. I was accepted to the budget church internship program at Fort Lee, partnership with VCU, Stars, and DCPS. Thank you.
My friends always talk about Miss Grantley and how she makes them dress real fancy on Wednesdays. Let's hear about that.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Did you know DECA prepares the next generation to be academically prepared, community-oriented, experienced leaders, and professionally responsible?
Our DECA members report they've gained skills in problem solving, how to communicate their thoughts and ideas, and how to be professional with their personal behaviors. Speaking of professional,
today we're going to show you how we do DECA. In Choosing Greatness at Dinwiddie High School, we choose to dress for success every Wednesday. All marketing students and DECA members dress for the job we want, not the job we have. Our advisors make sure to teach their students and our members about the importance of dressing for success. On DECA Wednesdays, we learn the valuable skills we need to acquire the futures that we desire. Today may be Tuesday, but on any given Wednesday, you are guaranteed to see our professionalism at Dinwiddie High School. So without further ado, let us just show you. This is how we dress for success.
He's got his briefcase.
We thank you for your time, and we hope that you enjoy how we dress for success.
I hear we have a few CTE classes here. Let's hear about that from Ms. Capetti.
Go first. I'm Michaela Ryder.
And I'm Kendall Chappell.
And we're here to talk about the CTE department. The CTE department has been busy this year with a number of different projects. JRTC traveled to Fort Gregg Adams for a job fair and also participated in an obstacle course. Approximately 40 cadets completed the obstacle course and 25 cadets traveled to the job fair. The job fair was a trip that was held in junction with DECA. Additionally, every 3 years, 4th BDE JRTC, located at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, is required to conduct a JRTC program for accreditation. As a result of this school year's inspection, the Dinwiddie JRTC program successfully passed its inspection and will retain it for 3 years.
Mr. Porter's trading classes have worked hard on constructing a chicken coop. The students pictured all received either their workplace readiness certification or their service learning and the OSHA 10 card. The students and teachers for tomorrow have completed their site visits for the year to the elementary schools. Additionally, these students have read to the kindergartens as they visited the agri-science days in the agricultural department.
This year we had 2 students in Mr. Williams' real estate class who passed the National Real Estate Salesperson exam. One of these students will be taking the state test tomorrow and will hopefully pass to be approved to take their boards later this year. In the history of the program, only one other student has completed the process to be a fully licensed realtor.
Our agricultural department hosted kindergarten agri-science days with all 350 kindergarten students visiting DHS greenhouse and rotated through 7 different stations that aligned with kindergarten's SOLs. Additionally, our vet science students will take their certification test tomorrow. In these classes, we regularly take care of the animals, including feeding, watering, and grooming, and wellness checks. These are 2 of our animals. This is Miko, and this is Guppy. Miko is a 2-year-old ferret, and Guppy is a 1-year-old hamster. We use these animals every day in our classes. We also incubated and hatched chicken and duck eggs, and we built the coop so we can have egg production in the future. Thank you all for your time.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm a huge Guppy abuser. Now can I hear from the science department with Jamaica and Mary?
CTE.
This is culinary.
Yeah. Culinary arts.
Hi.
Hi.
We are with Dinwiddie High School's culinary art program. Our group, we are Intro to Culinary, and we had this year's first Spring Cupcake Wars competition. So for the Spring Cupcake Wars, we wanted to do something spring themed, hence our lakeside picnic theme, as you can see in the box. We were unable to place our cupcakes in the box, so please enjoy them as we pass them out. We wanted to do something bright and fresh along with our spring theme, so we started off with a standard box of white cake that was given to each group and added lemon zest as well as lemon juice. Inside, we added homemade blueberry jam to complement the lemon flavor. We wanted to keep it simple with the icing, so we keep a focus on the cupcakes itself, so we did vanilla icing. Our group consisted of 5 members: me, Landon, Jarrell, Peyton, and Judy, but Judy was unable to make it. This project has taught us team building, time management, personal responsibility, how to work under pressure, learning to roll with the punches, and piping techniques, as well as overall creativity. With our display, there was a lot of trial and error, but we were happy to see how it came out. For the grass, we used paper. We used paper that we had spray painted a darker green and used bunched up paper towel to apply a lighter shade of green to appear as grass. We wanted to use blue poster board for the top and hot glued cotton balls as clouds. On the right back corner, we have a quaint display of calico critters enjoying a picnic by the lakeside.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Hello,
my name is Shadiah Jones, and this is my group with Trinity Emmanuel and Ashley Lambert. Sorry. The cupcake that we did was a vanilla cupcake with homemade strawberry jam, buttercream icing, and fresh strawberries on top. Our theme was Super Mario because we thought it would be clever because the new movie just came out. It was a lot that happened within our cupcakes, but I feel like the overall result was really good, and I hope you all enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is that all we have from the CT hall? Now we can hear from the science department. I really like science class.
Hello, you all. My name is Jamaica Weaver.
And I'm Marion Rainey.
And this year in AP Environmental Science, we have been studying aquatic ecosystems and the impact we as humans have on these sensitive ecosystems. On April 26th, environmental science classes enjoyed a field experience aboard the RV Bayliner to the James River, led by the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. While on board, we investigated the potentials of the James River ecosystem to sustain communities of wildlife. To access the health of the James River, water quality tests along the biotic sampling were conducted by students.
Students found that the James River ecosystem is healthy enough to support life. However, improvements to water quality can be made to bolster diversity. Students learned that the health of the James depends heavily on what occurs on land and the choices made by landowners. The field experience provided students with a hands-on learning experience that increased their understanding of aquatic ecosystems while increasing their environmental literacy.
Thank you.
Now we're going to hear from the power lifting club. No. Sorry. Now we have the English department. Nope.
Math is here. Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So yes, my name is Scott Watts. I'm here representing the math department at the high school. The math department continues to help our students succeed in their end of course tests and gives them options to further their understanding of mathematics through our upper level classes like trigonometry, pre-calculus, and dual enrollment pre-calculus, and our AP calculus. AP classes like Calculus BC, which I teach, AP Statistics, which Mr. Moore teaches. But I actually want to take the time to highlight one of the newer ways we are helping our students in particular. Last year, one of our students, Gloria Sung, worked with Mr. Moore and me to start peer tutoring in math after school on Tuesdays. Last Tuesday, on the day before the SOL test, the group organized a cram session for SOL students testing in the 3 core tested subjects with a significant turnout. Gloria does happen to be here this evening. I just want to recognize her momentarily. Gloria, please stand. And not all of my tutors are here today, but there are some, so I'd like them to stand as well. Jonathan, Jaden. Next year, we aim to continue our work tutoring students, have special study events like our cram session, and to expand the newly chartered Math Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta. Thank you very much.
Now we have the powerlifting.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, in powerlifting, we started in 2019, and we have expanded tremendously. In weightlifting, we not only work to accomplish the goals in our weights, but we work to accomplish the goals in our minds. We have competed in several competitions and have achieved several goals. Our coach, Michael Dalton, has always encouraged us to work hard, don't think, and just lift. And the 3 L's I like to always remember is lift it, lock it, and love it. Thank you. I mean, and there's also some videos if you want to watch. We're pretty cool, I guess.
So 10, 500 pounds. So 10, 500 pounds.
Now we have the English department.
All right, so in English, we're going to focus on reading, writing, and research. At the start of class today, for example, one of my students asked me to name 2 pronouns, and I asked, who, me? Yesterday, we finished an APA-style essay. The students weren't a fan, but trust me, it was love at first sight. In English today, one of my students wrote a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue, here I am talking to you. You like English, I do too. Without English, what would you do? So without English in our lives, we would not be able to communicate. We would all sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. Throughout students' time in English, they read some important literary works such as The Scarlet Letter, To Kill a Mockingbird, Frankenstein, and The Great Gatsby. They also learn key composing techniques that will be foundational for the workforce. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really like gym. Let's get working out, y'all.
Come on, Gabby, we gotta go. We're gonna be late for this meeting. Gabby, I'm gonna need you to go faster.
Johnny, I'm already going the speed limit.
I don't care what the speed limit is. You need to go faster.
Mr. Colbert said anything 15 over is reckless driving.
That car's going really fast.
I don't care what Mr. Colbert said. You need to go faster now.
Okay.
Look at this text message Mr. Gonson is saying we're gonna be late to the
I
meeting.
can't, I'm trying.
Look at it!
They just wrecked. You pull over, I'll call 911.
Hello? Yes, we're on Interstate 85
Oh, I'm okay.
at mile marker 53. A car just crashed in front of us. There's 3 passengers, two responsive and 1 unresponsive. My friend is CPR certified. She's going to start chest compression. Wait, what's that song again? I think it's called Staying Alive. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. She's giving 2 breaths. 1, 2. She's starting to like rush again. 3, 4. Oh, he's awake!
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we have world languages.
Good afternoon, school board members, Dr. Weston, and all other guests.
My name is Shadiah Jones,
And I'm Tryon Davis.
and we're here to talk about what goes on within the world language classes at Dinwiddie High School. This is our first year offering ASL at DHS. As you can see, because of the amazing job that they did earlier with the Pledge of Allegiance, they have been learning a lot.
Shadiah and I are both in Spanish 3 this semester, completing our foreign language requirement for Advanced Studies Diploma, and we have learned a lot throughout the 3 semesters. The classes are a lot of fun because they are student-centered and interactive as we are speaking in the past, present, and future tenses. Our skills have really improved as we learned a lot of new vocabulary. We use Quizlet, Quizzes, Kahoot, Flickit, and Gimkit to practice our vocabulary and grammar skills almost daily.
And our teachers have us working independently and collaboratively with different projects to help us build our skills and learn more about the culture and language. We did a family tree project in Spanish 1, we did menus in Spanish 2, and we conducted interviews with gathering data and put them on posters with likes and dislikes. And I hear that in Spanish 4, they're doing a murder mystery, whodunit type project.
I think we can all agree that our language classes have been a challenge, but fun at the same time.
Very good. Thank you.
Now we have the Fine Arts Department, my department, with Sydney and Jamaica.
Hello again. I'm Jamaica Weaver.
And I'm Sydney Moore. Fine arts consist of the chorus, band, theater, and art classes.
Throughout the school year, students in art classes work with a variety of art mediums and create pieces of artwork to display throughout the building and competitions.
Students in chorus and band rehearse daily to prepare for their many public performances throughout the school year. Students work together as an ensemble to perfect their music and must depend on one another for success.
Guitar students learn the basics of guitar strumming, and by the end of the semester, the students are able to find, learn, and perform songs on their own as solo guitarists.
Students in the theater classes learn the origins of the art form, as well as the practices that comprise it. Students work together as well as individually to write plays and monologues that will be performed by their peers throughout the semester.
The Fine Arts Department as a whole works together to showcase students' talents at the annual Fine Arts Festival. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to take this time to thank Mr. Garnes for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. Before I go any further, both Jamaica and myself would like to thank Ms. Cowan, Ms. Hawkins, and Ms. McIntosh for preparing us for the Government Day activity. It is very rare when students have the opportunity to express and actively participate in the topic in which they are currently learning, whether it concerns local, state, or federal government affairs. We, the students at Dinwiddie High School, feel that we have had the basic foundation for understanding the working structure of government. While researching the past, it allows us to gain a clear view of why our government works as a Democrat-Republican society. Lastly, I would like to leave you with a learning formula that has been instilled in us. Add goals each year, subtract bad choices, multiply achievements, divide time to complete tasks, set percentages, 1/4 of what you hear, 3/4 research for learning equals greatness. Thank you.
My portion of this presentation is to enlighten you on the experience of being a part of Government Day. This activity gives students a first-hand close look of how a county conducts government. We were not sure of what was going to take place, but our teachers had explained to us the importance of the day and how our leaders were very excited about presenting to us. We were divided into groups and were given 4 tasks to complete. The first was a simulation on how a county/town conducts government. Second, each group got a chance to represent a county's board of supervisors and listen to the selected groups of the county's request funds to start or complete a project. The third was each group was assigned a board member to work out a budget from the request given. Last, the groups were given the opportunity to present our budget for the year. I would like to express the gratitude of the students that participated in Government Day. It will be something else that we can add to the list of opportunities offered at Dinwiddie High School. Thank you.
Here's our Scholastic Bowl team.
Hey, come on, get you. Jaden's team here. Gloria's here.
We said no. We told them we didn't pass the fifth grader.
I know.
Yeah, she said she'd do the kids.
Okay, good afternoon. These are some of the members of the Dinwiddie High School Scholastic Bowl team. And I want them all to turn around and face the school board members now and raise your hand so that when I introduce you, they'll know who you are. So on this team, the captain is Gloria Sung. On this team, the captain is Jaden Brown, both seniors. So starting over here, we have Jonathan Sung, Gloria, Nathaniel Young, Linwood Golson, Hope Murray, Jaden Brown, Allison Hinkle, Brianna Pierce, and Roger Franzition. So now turn back around here. What they decided to do, they voted to demonstrate what they do best, and that is compete. So they're going to demonstrate a competition lightning round for you. And in a lightning round, each team is asked 10 questions. All 10 questions are related to the same category. So keep in mind, though, that these students do not know what categories they're going to get, nor have they been asked the questions before. So they are on the hot spot. Be supportive. All right, to start with, I announced 3 different categories. And we're going to have a coin toss. Whichever team wins the coin toss gets to choose their first choice of the 3 categories. They will have 90 seconds to answer all 10 questions. They may pass a question if they don't know it, but they cannot go back to that question. For each correct answer, they will score 1 point. So the maximum score is 10. On these category rounds, they can confer with each other, but the answer must come through the captain. So when Gloria's team is up, she will be the only one giving the official answer. When Jaden's team is up, he will be the only one giving the official answer. And after that first team goes, the next team must choose from one of the 2 remaining categories. So, Jaden, you have the quarter, right? Oh, you gave it.
You gave me my.
Okay. We do this alphabetically, so Brown comes before Sung, so Jaden, make your call. Okay, heads. Here we go. So, Jaden, you get your choice. Here are your 3 categories. U.S. presidents and historical events, 20th century art, or A in math.
20th century art.
20th century art. Okay, Mr. Watts is going to be timing, and he's going to start the time after I finish reading the intro. So these are the words that end the intro. Okay, here we go. 20th century art. Answer the following about the 20th century art and artists. Dada artist of the ready-made sculpture fountain. Correct. Alexander Calder made these kinetic sculptures like lobster trap and fishtail. Correct. Type of vehicle shown exploding in Roy Lichtenstein's Wham. Incorrect, it's a jet. Abstract expressionist painter nicknamed Jack the Dripper. Correct. Pablo Picasso mural depicting the bombing of a Basque town. Correct. Art movement whose name comes from the French for wild beast. Correct. Pete Mondrian painting inspired by the grid layout of New York. Correct. Pop art painter of Campbell's soup cans. Correct. Country whose visually aggressive style of propaganda poster was known as agitprop.
U.S.
Incorrect. It's Soviet Union. Last question. Abstract artist of color field paintings found in a namesake Houston chapel. Incorrect. It is Mark Rothko. Okay, so what's the score? 7 out of 10. Okay.
Campbell soup.
Excuse me. They've set the bar very high, Gloria. So what do you want? U.S. presidents and historical events, or A in math? Okay. U.S. presidents and historical events. So here's the phrase you're going to start at. U.S. presidents and historical events. Who was the president of the U.S. when World War I started? Wilson. Correct. The Supreme Court ruled on Brown v. Board of Education. Eisenhower. The War of 1812 began. Correct. South Carolina seceded from the Union. Incorrect. Buchanan. The Battle of Gettysburg was fought. Correct. The U.S. purchased Alaska. Correct. Apollo 11 landed on the moon.
Kennedy.
Reagan.
Incorrect. It's Nixon. The Spanish-American War ended. Correct. The FBI raided the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas. Clinton. World War II began. Correct.
They had 6.
6. Really close. Congratulate both of these. Congratulate both of these teams. They both did well.
Very good.
School spirit cheerleaders. Oh, here they come. I see.
Can't you see just how we move? We got to the beat.
So we had our Pledge of Allegiance. I want to thank everyone, and hopefully you will not ask what we're learning at the high school ever again. Thank you, teachers. I want all of my teachers to raise their hand because this could not have been without these teachers and these parents. We even had some teachers who drove the bus today. Thank you. I'm not going to give the history, so thank you. But I will say this. We do have 2 special awards. I'm just going to do them very quickly, and then I will end with something. Every year, DHS gives a DHS Hands-On Award, and this award is for folks who help us out and go beyond the call of duty. This first award goes to someone here at the central office. Whenever we call her for data, she's right there, even at nighttime. How do I know? Because I've asked her at 8 o'clock p.m. Miss Elizabeth Rainey. I don't know if she's here. This next award goes to someone who has been working with our seniors at our school, and we know that these are jobs, but we recognize people for the work that they do. Miss Catherine Kazee. I don't know if she's here. Also, with a little bit of history, we have folks who served as the principal of Dinwiddie High School, and I believe, I don't know if Mr. Randy Johnson is here. Give him a hand, Mr. Randy Johnson. And Miss Pittman. And we're finally done. Thank you.
Okay, here comes Mr. Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was exciting and enlightening. And I hope the younger students that are here got a good idea of what goes on at Dinwiddie High School.
You're ready? Okay.
That's not a problem.
Yeah. At this time, if the group that has been here for the high school and the middle school would like to exit, I know you have homework and so forth, that would, no. Okay, I'm sorry. Who's going to say something?
I just first want to say thank you to the parents, the students, and of course our staff. But especially the high school, it brought back memories for me because I graduated from Dinwiddie, band, drill team, DECA, so I just want our students to understand that the extra activities that we provide for you, please take advantage of it because it's an opportunity to set you all up for success when you graduate from high school. And I congratulate each one of you students for taking part in this activity. And just know, it's not all about the foolishness in the streets. It's about what you can get from our schools to set you up for success in your future. God bless you.
At this time, we're going to pause just for a few minutes. If there are people who need to leave, some of you may want to stay, but we'll give you a chance to exit the room if you do need to leave from the groups that have already gone. We have a lot more groups that are needing to come in too. So thank all of you for your participation. So this is already done, right?
No. Well, quiz bowl.
They're getting ready to exit.
Are they? Well, have we done the junior short cake? We haven't done that, right?
Maybe it was.
Have we done the quiz bowl? I think that's something different.
Maybe they went to the state or something, but they got up. This was Jamaica, where they went to the state. They got up to me. The first step we went into
We've already bonded.
So that's still got to come.
So make sure he stays, because the
It's
rest
just
of
going to
them
be a
got up.
recognition.
And they went to the state. They won the region.
cupcakes in here teasing him.
What?
These cupcakes is in here teasing him.
No, it's terrible.
If there are people in the hall that would like to come in, we do have some open seats. There are some seats over here on the left if you would like.
Okay. She'll take the rest of it. Okay. She's reading all the recognitions.
Whatever.
That's great. Look at all these people. I know. She's just standing. Oh, there she is.
Yes.
Another baby.
This is really fun. It is really fun.
May I have your attention? We are ready to proceed. Thank you very much for your patience.
All right, board, we are now ready to continue with our recognitions. I want to first introduce you to my mentee, my Pearls mentee for this school year. Her name is Miss Jalen, and she will be assisting me today as we go through our recognition portion. The first category is Junior Shark Tank. I think we have our first place winner in the house. Will Mr. Bryson Regal from Midway Elementary please stand?
Right over there. Raise your hand.
Bryce, would you raise your hand? Wave your hand.
Wave your hand, Bryson.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, all right. And next, we have our Quiz Bowl competition. So on Saturday, April 15th, the Dinwiddie High School Scholastic Bowl team competed at the statewide tournament at VCU. DMS 8th grader Roger Franzition competed in the high school standard division and was selected for the all-star team based on his individual high score of the number of questions answered correctly. Roger is the first Dinwiddie County student to rank high enough to make the all-star team. And he was competing against students in grades 9 through 12. Now he's in middle school, okay? Please congratulate Roger Franzition on his amazing accomplishment. Roger, would you please stand? All right. Next up, we'll have the Dinwiddie Middle School Pearls.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am delighted to have this opportunity to stand before the school board again after 6 years of retirement. I'm so happy to be in that state as well, but it's so good to be before you again. First of all, I would like to thank Dinwiddie Middle School, the administrative staff, Mr. Bird, and particularly Mr. Bird and Mr. Spence, because Mr. Spence is the middle school 6th grade principal who has worked with me this year. I am delighted to have some other ladies that work with me as well. As you will see, the ladies are in black wearing pearls, and we're going to share with you a little bit about who we are and why we are here today. We have from the middle school teacher coordinator, don't know what I'll do without her, Mrs. Nikisha Jones. We have some high schoolers who were middle schoolers that we now refer to as cultured pearls. So they help me out, and that's right now. Today we have Monique, and I'm sorry, calling my daughter. It's her daughter, Ariana, who's my granddaughter, and we also have Devea, the cheerleader. So those are our cultured pearls, and there are two sponsors at the high school, Mrs. Tori Walker and Mrs. Latrice Johnson. At the middle school, we have Mrs. Nikisha Smith, and then we have some other mentors out in the community. We have Ms. Monique Yates, who works for Richmond City Public Schools. She is their, let me see if I can get her title, data manager for Richmond City School. I hope that's right. We have Mrs. Pat Moody. He is a retired principal. She was a retired principal from Dinwiddie County. We have Ms. Scenario Valentine, who is now our director of elementary education. We have also Mrs. Natanya Robinson Williams, who is now our director of communications. Oh, coordinator. Oh, I just gave you a raise, girl. Communications coordinator. And we drafted Ms. Bonnie Golson. She doesn't know it, but she's been drafted into the Army because she helps us with everything we need to do in regards to pulling things together. We have some young ladies also who work with me who are absent today. Ms. LaShonda Lee, who is Human Resource Director for Dinwiddie County. Also, Ms. Tammy Collins, who is Deputy Superintendent of Community and Economic Development. And Ms. Marie Grant, who is coordinator for economic development for the county as well. And we have Dr. Virginia Byerson, who is retired and is an adjunct professor at Virginia Union University. And of course, yours truly, I'm Sharon Yates. I retired 6 years ago, and this has been a rewarding experience for me when I retired. I wanted to pay it forward, and I knew that I would not have been able to do the things that I've done without the assistance of some people who mentored and helped me along the way. So now I am going to call forward our cultured pearls, who's going to walk us through our presentation today.
Good afternoon. My name is Nevera Winkler. I'm a freshman at Dinwiddie High School.
And my name is Ariana Booz, and I'm a freshman at Dinwiddie High School also.
What is PEARLS? PEARLS stand for Prepared, Educated, Acclimated, Resourceful Ladies of Success.
PEARLS is a mentor organization founded by Sharon Yates in 2019 for the 6th grade students, and we represent the first group of PEARLS.
As members of this organization, we participate in a variety of activities we would like to share with you through our presentation. This is our Christmas event that we help pack bags for kids that's in need during Christmas time.
This right here is our Valentine's Day luncheon where we all came together at the middle school and had lunch with each other.
This is DHS Culture Pearls. That includes us, and one that's not here.
We held a paint party at the historic Southside, and I think this was one of the funnest events that we had, and these are some of the paintings.
The field trip adventures, we took a field trip around Dinwiddie to learn different historical things about where we live, and it was very adventurous, like fun to learn where we came from.
And these are some of the pictures. We recently had a celebration event, our end of year celebration event, and we also learned etiquette training. And it taught us how to be etiquette, taught us which ways to eat in the order to eat our food, and how to set our forks and stuff. Thank you.
And just so you do not forget us, we do have a little token of appreciation of your support as well. We'd like to thank Dr. Weston for supporting this event and this program and all the years that we've done it. We enjoy doing it. As you can see, I have an entourage of ladies who help me out. I just talk to them and give them a few orders, and they take care of the rest.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Nice, beautiful.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next up is the Run Club. And as you see, we have a lot of young people here from the Run Club, and they just recently participated in a marathon. And I know Ms. Drake has prepared a PowerPoint. I think, Ms. Golson, are you ready? All right, would all the members of the Run Club please stand? Great job. I know Ms. Drake is very proud and your administrators are very proud of you. They can't wait for the start of the new season as well, okay? Great job. Thank you for coming today, okay? And for those that are left, once I finish recognitions, I will meet up with you in the hallway to get pictures, okay? But I know Ms. Drake has a lot of them, so we'll make sure to give you recognitions, okay? All right, next up is none other than outstanding new teacher, and we would like to recognize 2 new teachers. So, Miss Betty is coming up with the plaques. The first person that we would like to recognize is Madeline Harrison. Madeline Harrison is a 3rd grade teacher at Southside Elementary. This is her 3rd year of teaching. Congratulations. And next, we would like to recognize Logan Brow. He's an exceptional education teacher at Dinwiddie Middle School. Congratulations. This is Mr. Brow's 1st year of teaching. Congratulations. So in order to be eligible for the Outstanding New Teacher Award, you must be within the first 3 years of teaching, and you must possess a working or working towards a current renewable Virginia teaching license. You must exhibit superior instructional skills, interact exceptionally well with your students, and you must exhibit excellence, equity, and integrity. Thank you so much, outstanding new teachers, and congratulations once more. All right, next we have a special group of people. It's none other than our 2023 retirees. Miss Bonnie, are you ready? Hit present. At the bottom, the purple box. All right. Wait a minute. Can you go back? Thank you. All right, our first honoree. Miss Diane T. Sheets. Is she present? All right. Diane is a bus driver and she works for the transportation department. She has given us 6 years here at Dinwiddie County Public Schools. Miss Essie H. Sykes. Another bus driver in the transportation department that has served 9 years. Miss Christine Banash, teacher at Dinwiddie High School, who has served 14 years. Miss Deidre M. Fields, teacher from Sutherland Elementary, 19 years. Miss Viola A. Perkinson, secretary at Midway Elementary. She has served 14 years. Mr. Raymond B. Morgan, bus driver with the Transportation Department, 16 years. Miss Sheila V. Shands, paraprofessional at Dinwiddie High School, has given us 20 years. Miss Jonna T. Carter, reading interventionist and teacher at Sutherland Elementary, 24 years. Miss Gloria Taylor, school nutrition specialist, Dinwiddie High School, 27 years. Miss Karen Burrows, bookkeeper at Dinwiddie Middle School, 35 years. Miss Robin R. Jones, facilities operations specialist with the maintenance department, 38 years. We're getting up there. Miss Mary T. Dietrich, teacher at Dinwiddie High School, 31 years. Miss Lisa Bunch, teacher at Sunnyside Elementary, 33 years. Sandra H. Harris, math and science specialist and teacher at Dinwiddie Middle School, 34 years. Thank you. Miss Camille Owens, teacher at Southside, 30 years. Miss Dolores Williams, school nutrition, Sunnyside, 15 years. Stacy Lewis, school counselor at Dinwiddie Middle School, 30 years. Donna Chambers, car driver with the Transportation Department, 29 years. Mr. James Red Matthews will be retiring this year. He served as the maintenance technician with the maintenance department and has served 48 years. Mr. Weaver, Robert Bob Weaver, innovation specialist with Dinwiddie High School, 26 years. Jamie Mills, school nutrition, Dinwiddie High School, 25 years. Miss Marie Holmes, teacher at Dinwiddie High School, 22 years. Miss Anna M. Okay, help me. Faraccio. I apologize. Miss Anna M. Faraccio, teacher at Dinwiddie Middle School, 18 years. Miss Paige Hannon, director of elementary education and Title I, served 33 years. Altogether, that's a combined amount of years of 609 years combined. Happy retirement, staff. And I leave you with this quote. Dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward and make your dreams come true. All right? Thank you. And we will see you on Thursday. We will see you at Thursday at the Eastside Enhancement Center for the retirement celebration, okay? All right. Thank you. Next up.
Just don't even say it.
We're almost finished.
Hang on. Oh, we do?
Now that I read, time and make comments.
No, just save them to the end.
It's always exciting.
They didn't give you a chance to take a break.
I know. I just said this whole reason. I don't have a minute yet. She needs it. None of them called minute. I'm going. When we open it, they're tired.
We're out of here.
All right, next we have.
You want to wait just a minute? Almost.
Next, we would like to call Ms. Grace C. Jones up to the podium. Yes, come on. Grace, we would like to thank you for your service this school year as serving as our school board representative. Dr. Weston has something very special for you. Thank you so much for showing up to each meeting, willing to step up to the call as a student representative. And Dr. Weston, go ahead and take over.
Well, you know, Grace is always bringing us gifts.
Yes.
Every time you bring us gifts all the time for every holiday. It's nice to be able to give you something for a change. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Let's see.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Grace.
All right. Next, with Grace departing as a senior, we had to tap into Mr. Garnes to see if we could get a student representative that could serve just to the capacity of Grace. And so I would like to introduce to the board our new school board representative, and that is none other than Miss Imani McLaughlin. Please stand. Miss McLaughlin, or Imani, is a member of DECA. She serves as the DECA president, sophomore class president, varsity basketball cheer captain. In her future, she plans to pursue a career in business and marketing with a concentration in fashion design. In her spare time, she likes to volunteer with programs such as Feed More. She loves drawing, journaling, painting, and writing. She is the daughter of Bernita McLaughlin and the late Reverend Dr. Victor McLaughlin. Her current GPA is a 4.2, and she has received the Principal Scholars Award. She also serves in the capacity of serving as the 9th grade or a spokesperson for the upcoming 9th grade students from Dinwiddie Middle School that are coming in this new school year. She's won first place in districts at the DECA's competition level, and she's also ranked at the state fair level for branding campaign. She has won also the sophomore homecoming princess title as well in the past. So I now introduce Imani McLaughlin. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always wonderful to have all the great good news and the celebrations that we have for all the different groups. Thank you so much for those who organized this. Do you want to do board comments now, or just save them for the end?
Save them to the end.
We'll save them for the end, okay. Yeah, is anyone here who feels like they need to exit because of the student activities, feel free to go right ahead. And we're going to go ahead with board matters, varsity wrestling team camp. Mr. Garnes, are you coming for that? Okay.
Good evening again. I'm here to.
Turn your mic on, please.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Good evening again. I'm here to present the varsity wrestling team camp field trip. It is an overnight field trip. They're requesting approval to attend the wrestling camp at Fishburne Military School. Actually, it's a couple of days, the 11th through the 15th. They're going to be taking a combination of high school and middle school wrestlers, a total of 20 students with 2 chaperones. At this camp, they will have a registration that will be paid, and they will be learning valuable techniques of wrestling, team building, which is very important while they are there at the camp. And we are asking for your board approval.
And this is males and females, I'm assuming? Okay. So
Yes.
We'll have males and female chaperones.
We have, I think they have 2. I don't know if all the folks who are going are all, if we have any females going at this time, but I can find out. But I know we do have 2.
Your coach
but I
back
don't
there
know if
says
she's
that they are.
attending. Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're here. Mr. Rogerson, you should have come up with me. Yeah, this was not my job tonight, but I'm filling in for.
So,
filling in for
is it
Mr.
possibility to get a
Tortorese.
parent to help out or something for females?
Yeah, we can work on that because I think that is important.
Separate dorms. Any questions about wrestling camp? This is 11th through the 15th of June or May?
June.
June, okay. Questions about wrestling camp? If not, we need a motion.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the wrestling team camp as
Second.
presented.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It passes.
Thank you. And we'll follow up with that information with you.
Thank you. Approval of the support staff grievances.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I stand before you today to answer any questions or concerns you may have in relation to our proposed change to our policy on support staff grievances. Last month, we presented the policy to you as a first read, as an opportunity for you to have a chance to review it and provide feedback.
Are there any questions about the grievance policy, the changes in the grievance policy?
I didn't have any questions.
Okay, there's highlighted on there for
Yeah.
what the changes are.
Mhm.
If there are no questions, we need a motion to approve it.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the policy GMBA, support staff grievances.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And that passes. Thank you so much for your work in that area.
Thank you.
Special Education Annual Plan. Good afternoon.
I stand before you all this evening to provide an overview of the Special Education Annual Plan. All school divisions are required to submit the Special Education Annual Plan, which serves as the formal agreement between school divisions and the Virginia Department of Education for the implementation of federal and state laws and regulations governing the special education services and programs. The annual plan components include the superintendent certification, as well as LEA assurances and certifications, the LEA local and regional jails interagency agreement, which we do not have any of in this division. There's also an implementation narrative of the previous annual plan. So for us, our annual plan goes solely to support our special education teachers and staff members that are working with our students with disabilities. This plan, it includes all staff members. So it was fully implemented last year. We are required to also include the maintenance of effort. The maintenance of effort is the requirement that the LEA demonstrates funding at a consistent level from year to year. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit ahead. Also, it identifies whether school divisions are required to set aside funds for coordinating intervening services, which we are not. I'm happy to report that we are not required to set aside any funds. We are required to this year identify and set aside funds for our proportionate set aside, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So for the upcoming school year, we do use last year's funding amount or award amount for our application. For our 22-23, we received $968,408 for our 611, which supports our children in grades 5 through 21. And then also for 619, which supports our younger students aged 2 through kindergarten age, $30,997. So we do anticipate that funding to be a little bit more this year. It is based off of our December 1 child count number of 639 students for this year. Of that number, 15 of those students are our homeschool students who have been identified as students with disabilities. We do provide related services to our homeschool families. Those related services include speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy. For our annual plan, we again propose to fully implement the plan for the upcoming school year with that proportionate set-aside number of $22,732.58, which is an estimate of money set aside to support our homeschool and any private school families. We also propose that we will continue to provide for the special education teachers and paraprofessionals who work directly with our students with disabilities. So we're proposing to include 17 positions for our 611 flow through, and for our 619, 1 paraprofessional position. Are there any questions?
I'm just curious, do we get reimbursement funds for the services that we provide for homeschool students since we don't get enrollment funds for them?
We do with our December 1 child count, because we are including those students in the child count. We will receive some monies for those students to allow us to continue to be able to provide services for those students.
And I'm glad we can. I was just curious if they helped fund it. Questions about the changes in the special education annual plan?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. No. We need to entertain a motion to approve.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the policy with the special education annual plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. And before I sit down, I would like to represent our SEAC committee. So the ladies in yellow and their families that are with them, I would like to recognize them if you all would like to stand. This is our SEAC committee, and I tell you that these ladies are out advocating for our students and families. They are attending community events and also bringing in various activities to help keep our community informed about services for our children. So thank you, ladies, for all of your hard work.
We need the workforce readiness application.
Click on that. Right there, yep. Oh.
It's the third one.
Go back to the agenda. And last one, right there. Hopefully I can control it with this, correct? All right. Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
So as you know, every year, the Virginia School Boards Association solicits applications for its Excellence in Workforce Readiness Award. I have to note that that is an award that Dinwiddie has won multiple times, which is what we love about Dinwiddie. We like to win. So this award actually recognizes divisions who have programming in place that are innovative within the school community and involve communication and collaboration with the business community, involve student engagement with the business community, or student entrepreneurial activities. So I believe you have in your packet the formal application that we put together, but we just wanted to give an overview tonight. So our entry this year is Dinwiddie County Public Schools Career Launch. Okay, and this is an overview of the 5 phases of Career Launch, and I'll get into each of the 5 phases in more detail as we go through. But phase 1 is career exposure. Phase 2 is identifying our Career Launch students. Phase 3 is our reverse career fair program. Phase 4 is the employer interview process. And then phase 5 is the culmination of Career Launch, which is our CTE signing day. So goals of DCPS Career Launch: 1, increase the number of business partners and employers that are engaging with our students. Okay. 2, increase the percentage of students that successfully complete Career Launch each year. 3, increase the percentage of students that successfully transition to employment upon graduation. And 4, monitor our postgraduate employment status, continue to seek employer feedback so that we can continue to improve and strengthen the Career Launch and our Workforce Ready initiative. So phase 1 is career exposure. We do that in multiple ways through job shadowing. Of course, we also use Major Clarity here in Dinwiddie County. But our main career exposure event each fall is, of course, Industry Day. And we have presented on Industry Day before, but this year we had 44 industry partners representing 12 career clusters, and we had 862 of our students impacted by Industry Day. So sort of simultaneously with Industry Day, we're also during that time of year identifying our Career Launch students. So the students that we are looking for the Career Launch program are our seniors that are looking to enter the workforce upon graduation. And there's multiple ways of finding these students. Of course, we send out senior surveys, asking them of postgraduate plans, teacher and counselor recommendations, and also we meet with the senior class. Of course, on first Friday in February is our Reverse Career Fair event, but leading up to the Reverse Career Fair, there's work going on because we make sure that these students are prepared to interview. We also help them develop resumes. Each student prepares an About Me board because remember the whole premise of the Reverse Career Fair is it flips your traditional career fair where the students are the spotlight and the employers actually come ahead of time seeking certain specific students out. Our employer dashboard, which we have a link to, is actually a website that we create for all of the participating students, and that is sent out to our participating employers before the Reverse Career Fair so that they can get to know the students before they ever show up on the Bright Point campus. But this year we had 30 industry partners that participated in the Reverse Career Fair, and all of our Dinwiddie High School students were actually offered follow-up interviews from the Reverse Career Fair. So after the Reverse Career Fair, the next 4 weeks is really the interview time. That takes a lot of coordinating and sacrifice, not only from our students, but also from our industry partners, because we're working around school schedules and, they're working around their busy schedules, but they're committed enough to continue with the process, which is great. So we actually had 14 interviews that we conducted at Dinwiddie High School, where our industry partners came on campus and interviewed. And then we took 8 students out on site at the employer locations. As is always the case with our interviews, it's really a two-way evaluation. You know, the industry partners are evaluating our kids, but the kids are also evaluating the career opportunities and the organizations. All of our participating seniors received offers of full-time employment, which is something that we're proud of.
It's amazing.
CTE signing day, so that was held on April 28th at Bright Point. It was just a fantastic ceremony to celebrate these kids. If I could, you know, the families showed up, and of course representatives from each of the school divisions. But we had 5 of our seniors sign offers of full-time employment, and you can see those students, just a great diverse group of kids with so much potential. And you know, in talking to our school, our teachers, administrators, some of the growth that we've seen out of some of these kids from when they first came to the Dinwiddie High School campus to now, it's just a really neat thing to see. There's a picture from our CTE signing day. And Xavier Watkins is not pictured. He had a conflict that morning, a prior commitment. So some of the data as we look and continue to see, you know, how can we improve year to year, and you know, where is it, you know, how is it, you know, where has it come, how is it coming? So you can see that Industry Day participation, you know, is way up. Of course, 2020, you know, in 2021, that's to be expected as we get back to normalcy after the COVID pandemic. We had 10 participating seniors this year in the Career Launch program, which was down a little bit as far as senior participation this year, but we did have a higher percentage of students placed in positions and offered employment offers. But one of the things that we talk about continually is how do we get more higher participation each year. So that's certainly a goal and something that we're working on. 10 students that were hired in the spring of 2021-22, so last year's CTE signing day program, are still working with their employer, which is great. Yep. So that is the overview of our entry, this year's entry for VSBA Excellence in Workforce Readiness Award, and with you all's approval, we'll certainly get that submitted.
Are there questions for Mr. Burke?
No,
Sorry.
I don't have any questions, but seems like we're entering some good interests.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, and I was able to attend the industry day, you know, and I saw the vendors, the students, how interested they were. And what was the other one? When they buy and they get a job and they have to.
The reality store.
The reality store.
Yeah.
Yes, and the reality
Yeah.
store. And I think there's some good opportunities there for students to learn, and they learn a lot. You may not think they're learning, but they learn a lot when they get to you and find out they don't have enough to take care. So
That's right.
It looks good to
It's
me.
eye-opening.
And I think it's impressive that the 5 are still working for their, after a year. That's
Yep.
wonderful.
Yep.
We do need a motion to enter this into the VSBA competition.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept this entry from 2023 from our workforce, that we was presented to us for the 2023 VSBA Workforce Readiness Application.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? We thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll be recognized again. We are now looking at the 2024 budget. And we've been looking at the budget for months and months, and the problem is the state is dragging their feet. But Dr. Weston will update us on what we have to do to survive till the state decides to do something.
That is correct. So I wish I could stand in front of you this evening and say this is the last time you're going to see the budget, but this is not the last time you're going to see this budget. But this is the last time you're going to see the budget in May. I can tell you that. And I would just like to start by saying that, to thank, there have been a lot of people that have been involved in this process. As you know, we started, looking at we needed $2.8 million, I believe is what we had asked for originally. And we've been able now to come before you today with a balanced budget. I think after you've seen all the presentations this evening, you can understand why people want to send their children to Dinwiddie County Public Schools. It certainly is a great place to be. And so we built this budget, we really built it around needs, and I'm going to go through it, but I am going to highlight the changes based on the budget from all the other iterations of the budget that you've seen previously. But it is still based on people and services and the mandates that come to us. We have updated our enrollment so you can see exactly where our enrollment is in this moment. You can see our fall enrollment. We were above 4,100. We have, as of the spring, the March 30th count, we're right at a little bit over 4,100. So we still met the number that we based our budget on this year. So that's really good news for us. We weren't, sure there for a moment, but we're able to. We still are above the 4,100 that our budget was based on, and we are going to maintain that in this new budget moving forward. We have also updated our English learners, and just want to bring that to your attention, that our enrollment, look how much it's climbing. Even since the last time I brought that to you, we're now at 159 EL students, and that is continuing to climb. And our enrollment also of our special education students, you heard Dr. Joyner speak to that. That number is also continuing to climb. And so I say that to just bring attention to that while it looks like our overall enrollment is either maintaining or has dropped a little bit, our programming needs are changing because of the diversity of the students that are coming to us, and their needs are getting greater. Just as a reminder, what our community pays per pupil expenditures as compared to our localities, we pay about $12,500 per student, whereas some of the localities around us pay a great deal more. And that has to do with our locality's ability to pay, and that's what the state determines. They factor in a lot of different things there, and they say based on that, your locality can afford to give more money to the school system. And so, but you can see where, for example, Sussex, it's almost $20,000 per student that they're paying for their young people there. I just want to show you, just as a reminder, in fiscal year 2021, the county, the transfer was a $0 increase. In 2022, they did provide us a $507,000 increase, and that was for primarily for teacher salaries. We did a big a boost in salaries right there in that year, also with our compensation study. $300,000 in fiscal year 2023. Once again, that was for teacher salaries. But I will say to you that does not cover all of the non-SOQ funded teachers. And then this year coming up, the county is affording us $200,000 of the $2.8 million that we requested. So as you can see, we had to go back and do some rethinking and reprioritizing to come to a balanced budget that I'm going to bring to you today. So with regard to the people, there were a couple of things when we started this process. We said that we want to make certain that we do compensate people. Right now, the inflation rate is about 8.1%. So we knew that we needed to do something with compensation, and that need not be something that was impacted. We also did not want any decisions that we made or any priorities that we made for this first version of the budget, the balanced budget. We did not want it to touch the schools and or teachers. And so we made that a priority as well. And so then we stepped out of that and started to talk about all of the different things that we had inside the budget. So what you have inside this balanced budget is this. We did increase the teacher-based salary to $52,250. We thought that was very important because we are all competing for the same teachers in this region and really across the state, and people do have choices about where they go to work. And so what we wanted to do was to raise the teacher base, but we also, and in doing so, make sure that we provided teachers with a 5% increase. Well, as you know, that our teacher salary scale is based on the longer that you're here, the increase is greater. And so teachers will receive between a 5% increase and a 6.4% increase. We are going to continue with the teacher licensure partnership because we are seeing a lot of long-term substitutes in our teaching vacancies, and also we have a lot of provisionally licensed teachers. So we know we have to start growing teachers. We have to start, finding people within our own ranks to see if we can help to get them the licensure that they need in order to be teachers. And so Mrs. Branch has been really working diligently in that regard. We did keep the following positions in the budget: the early learning teacher, because we do want to expand our early learning program. We do understand how important early learning is. We kept the EL teacher inside the budget because we do need to be able to support the EL students, and you saw the numbers growing there, and currently we only have 3 of those teachers. We also need to revamp and to expand our Pathways program, our alternative education program. We do not have a true alternative school, but we do need to have a place where kids that do not learn in the traditional learning environment can go and learn. And we want them to be able to stay there for an extended period of time in order to get them out of the schools. And so, and put them in an environment where they can be more successful. And then we also are working with kept the family engagement specialist, right? Currently, she'd been paid fully out of Title I, but she's only able to serve 4 schools, and we want her services to be able to reach all of our schools. So with regard to the United Pay Plan and transportation, there's a 5% increase for employees. We're going to complete the compensation study that we started 3 years ago. We're moving the starting wage to $12.85. And there is a early learning paraprofessional in there. And in an effort to try to do more with less, we took some existing positions that we had and we just turned them into positions that we needed. So we wouldn't have to add any additional positions there. And as you know, there's no increase to health insurance. You know, there was a discussion, because you all pay $6 million for health insurance. And one of the things that could always be on the table is, do you stop paying $6 million for health insurance and push that out to the employee? But I applaud you for your efforts to try to maintain or to try to keep that expense away from employees as much as possible. Site-based substitutes, and then finally the SRO position, so that all of our schools will have the security that they need. Here are the services that we kept inside the budget as well. We don't have any other choice but to maintain the diesel fuel and the 10% increase in our utilities. And then the contracts that we have with those companies, those costs have to be inside of the budget. And then we do have tuition increases at Maggie Walker, at ARGS, and Code RVA. We are going to see an expansion at Rowani this year. We're adding plumbing, which will be an increase for us. Pathways, we will have an expansion at Pathways this year, so we will be able to accommodate more students. Our gifted and talented expansion, which we started this school year, but it'll be about the supplies. I mean, they're doing a great job with the people part. And then, of course, I spoke to the early learning expansion. Just to remind you about some of the mandates, that we are allocated positions, but they're not always what we need. Only 419 of our 698 positions are funded through the state. So that means that we as a locality have to find a way to fund the others, and that means we either have to rely upon the county, or we have to find it within our budget. And I will say this time, we had to really find it within our budget to make this happen, because the $200,000 that is going to be provided by the county is not going to cover even the compensation that we need to do for all employees. And then you can see the federal fund mandates that we have, as well as we spoke to the health insurance, and what the Virginia Code does have a lot of mandates there as well. Okay, so this is the overall revenue that you can see here. I have the county transfers showing the change of the $200,000. We have some local increases there, $49,000. The state increase is about $897,000. We expect about $256,000 in state tax, Medicaid reimbursement of $95,000. Federal increases of only less than $5,000 for about $1.5 million increase. And even before, when we had gotten the first of the governor's budget, it was a lot more than that as well. So this is what this is our revenue. Just to give you a sense of what that looks like in this chart or this graph, You certainly you can see the county transfer. It's starting to get lower. It was, I think, at 30% previously, so now it's at 29% of our budget. Federal funds 1%, and state is 70% of our budget. And then this is all the different areas, how the money is being spent. Currently, 70% of our budget is being spent on instruction. And then after that, it's maintenance. That number is going to be rising, so 13% of our budget will be in maintenance. Beyond that, we have transportation at almost 7% of our budget is transportation. And I think what people don't realize about transportation is that we are not required to provide transportation as a locality, but we do choose to provide that. And in a locality as big as ours, it's very expensive to do so. There is, in technology, it's about 4.5% of our budget. And then we have administration is 3.6% of our budget, and then health and attendance is 2.4% of our budget. So our overall school operating fund is about $55 million. And then we also have other funds. There are very few changes to this area, but I'll just go through these kind of briefly just so you can know. Here's the funds that we have available. You see the beginning funds we have available for our school textbooks, and the ending balance we expect to be at $609,000. I see we have Spanish. I believe it's Spanish. Foreign language. Yeah, foreign language. Yes, yes. I took French, so we have some foreign language books in the hallway if you'd like to peruse those. So I expect that we're going to be adopting a textbook soon, and so you see that where that's going to spend some money in that area. School nutrition fund, we expect to start the year at about $561,000. Remember, this is a budget that is held in isolation from our, but it's a standalone. It's not typically part of our budget, but just so you know, we expect to take in $2.5 million in revenue, but to spend exactly that amount in with about $630,000. Ms. Elder does a great job with that.
As far as we know, that Feeding Everyone program will go forward next year?
Yes.
It will?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She's been very good about that. And with CARES Fund, just to kind of show you where we were projected to be, and that's just because we have all of our monies allocated to various projects, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. And here's, what currently is in the CARES funding, and which will, remember, this is the last year of the CARES funding, so we have a lot of work to do in this last year, because once you get to the end of it and you haven't spent it currently, we will have to give it back. So we don't intend to do that. But you can see some of the projects that we have planned for this last school year. But some of it is becoming more challenging because you're relying upon contractors and things like that to get these projects done. Here's the school capital fund, starting with $3.6 million. The transfer from the county fund, $3.1. Some of the projects we're expecting to work on are the electricity at Sunnyside, because we found out when we did the HVAC, got the HVAC, that the electrical program could not handle the new HVAC. So that's about $1 million, and so we have a lot of big projects like that. And then estimated ending about $1.7 million. And then here's some of our large capital projects that we're under consideration right now. And there's some of our small capital projects that we are currently working on. We really are looking at our middle school, some of the renovations that we can do at the middle school. It's to kind of make it feel more like it's one school versus the older school and the newer part of the school, and we're working on that. But you can see, definitely we're going to work on, do the DES envelope study, the lighting upgrades at Southside, and the restroom renovations. We're doing all of those deferred maintenance projects at Southside. And there you can see what I mentioned before, the electrical upgrades at Sunnyside. Okay. In the school grants fund, these are Title I, II, 3, 4, 6B, and preschool. And you can see the beginning balance there and what we expect to receive this year from these particular grants. And we do expect to see all of those revenues to be expended before the end of the school year. And you heard from Dr. Joyner this evening, you hear about each one of these grants separately throughout the year. And this is our debt service, beginning balance $1.6 million. As you know about our debt service, that even though the amount of debt continues to go down, the county has continued to pay the same amount, I guess in an effort to try to lower the amount of debt over a faster period of time. So this is the money that the county pays on our behalf with an ending balance of $2.2 million. And then a summary of all the funds, beginning balance at about $7 million. But you can see we expect to revenue about $75 million, including all the grants I just spoke about. Expenditures, $76 million with an ending balance of about $5 million. Most of that would probably be with our grants and our CARES funding and things like that. So you can see here all of our revenues where our $75.2 million in revenue comes from. The school operating fund being the large portion of that. And you can see all the other categories there as well. And here are expenditures, as you would expect, for each one of those areas. And that is it. So we have balanced the budget, I'm very happy to say. It is probably the skinniest budget that we've probably ever put together. They gave us a skinny budget, and we put together even a skinnier budget. But I will tell you that they will come back in session on June 21st. So we do anticipate that we will know on June 22nd, we will know what the revenue is going to look like for us. We have been told that we should expect to receive, if nothing else, we should expect to receive the money that was the error that VDOE made, that they withheld from us, which is over $600,000 for us. We should expect to receive those monies. But even so, even if we receive that money, we have to be very careful about how we spend that money, because if you start using that money on personnel, you have to be able to find that money for next year's budget. So we have to be really careful. And so we'll be looking at some one-time kind of cost things that we can take care of if that is indeed the case. But we definitely know we'll be back to share the budget with you. But we do need to approve it this evening to stay in compliance. But we definitely will be back here either in June or July.
So once we approve it, we can move money in categories, but not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you approve it, she was just saying, once we approve it, we can move forward. We're going to move forward. It starts July 1. Yeah. But we'll be back in July to provide, it'll have to be a different budget. To change. But we'll have a balanced budget and be able to move forward. Yes.
Okay. Well, we need a motion to do.
I just had one question, just out of transparency, because I did run on that floor when I first started.
Sure.
This does include a raise for school board members. I want the community to know that as well.
It does.
So,
and we've discussed how to do that, and we haven't really landed on an absolute ending. And the reason is, so you know, and so that other people know, you can only vote a raise for us or the school board of supervisors once every 4 years, so it applies in the 5th year. So a couple of years back, we did make a raise. So then, as the teachers get a 5% raise 3 years ago, and the next year another 5% raise or a 3% raise or a 6% raise, we can't do that because you can't vote yourself a raise.
That's right.
So you have to vote it for the future. So once you vote this, you can't do it for another 4 years. So the discussion is, do you try to make up for the years that you didn't put a raise in there?
Yeah.
And that's why I asked if we could still adjust it, because we haven't gotten to an end amount that we approve.
And I would like to speak to that. I mean, I made the recommendation about the school board for a couple of reasons. I made the recommendation because you can only do it every 4 years, and you can only do it within the 6-month period of time prior to the next election coming up. So the last time we did it was right before you all came on board. And in an effort to try to attract people because this is a time-consuming job to be a school board member or to be a board of supervisors. So one of the reasons was, trying to be able to compensate people for their time. Currently, our board members are paid less than the board of supervisors, but the demands on a school board, in my estimation, because I get to see what you all do more closely, are far greater. And I felt like it should be comparable across the county because that's how it is in most places. But also because you can't vote for yourself a raise, and I felt like what you should do, when you're doing it, you should do it in this moment, because you can't do it again for 4 more years. And I don't know if it's people are looking at money. I don't know that. But I know that when you all get the check that you get every month, by the time the taxes come out of it, it's not much.
No.
But I appreciate the fact, and you can always come back this summer and change that. When we come back to do the budget, you can relook at any of that. And certainly it's certainly up for. That was my thinking behind it, because I always want to be able to attract people, and I know people. I just want to be able to attract people to come to work, and I know money's one part of that, because time is,
And I would just like to have it just comparable to what we've given to our employees.
Mhm.
I don't think we should be
Correct.
above. It should be equivalent to what we give our employees.
Similar percentages, yes, I
Well,
agree, I agree with.
Or it can be
Jane.
what you've given them each year for the last 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for the last 4 years, they've been pretty
Mm-hmm.
significant.
Right.
But just
Yeah.
didn't want to go above and beyond that.
Sure.
Yeah, that was our concern,
Yeah.
and we know that you
Absolutely.
are champions in trying to
Yeah.
have people compensated, but we didn't want it to be, I didn't want it to be any bigger than when you add up the percent of raise.
Right.
For the teachers, not the actual money, but the percent of raise.
I do feel at some time, what school board members are paid should be comparable to what board of supervisor members are paid, because the responsibilities are the same. I feel that way. I don't know how, but I think
Well,
it should be that.
yeah, and one of the things that we talked about too is we are also, we serve on this board, we serve on Rwanti, we
Yes.
serve on ARGS, we serve on Code RVA
And Maggie Walker.
Walker.
Mhm.
We also have to serve on finance committees and
And
special education
VSBA
committees,
and-
VSBA committees, so
Mhm.
it
And
is
every school
time-consuming.
event. Yeah, it's a very time-consuming job. And what you'd be voting on is not a raise for yourself. You'd be voting on a raise for whoever sits in these seats next January. You'll also keep that in mind.
But we would like to reserve the right to discuss
Of
that
course,
before we
yeah,
do.
absolutely. But
Because-
currently it is still in the budget.
But thank you.
Of course. Okay.
We need to be comfortable with what the percent of raise would be. I need to be comfortable with that.
Definitely. Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the budget as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And that motion carries. Thank you for all your hard work and your team's hard work. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to read a paper before I vote on that, but I shall read it now. And it says that I, Barbara Pittman, declare that my son is a Dinwiddie County School Board system teacher, and he was working in this capacity before my election to the school board, which will not interfere with my participation or discussion on the budget. Thank you for that reminder. Okay, are any new business, Ms. Golson? No. Okay. And summer learning opportunities? Dr. Clay, thank you so much.
It is my pleasure to stand before you this evening and present various summer learning opportunities that we are offering to our
You did. Now I'm loud. Okay. All right. So there is a PowerPoint, but I'll just kind of start with an overview while Ms. Golson is pulling that up. So tonight I'm going to present Summer Learning Academy opportunities that we have in place for elementary students, middle school students, and high school students, where class sizes are small and instruction will be tailored to student needs. We also partner with Dinwiddie County Workforce Development to offer some learning opportunities for students, so we'll highlight that this evening. And then Alicia Drake is just full of energy, and she represents Dinwiddie County Public Schools FACE, our family engagement, and she is partnering with the Sheriff's Department for a summer learning opportunity. So, okay.
Summer learning opportunities do align with our county's strategic plan under the goal of student success. We will reach, challenge, and prepare every student for success in school and life. Each student will succeed academically. So that is definitely the goal of these opportunities, and definitely some of these are enrichment that we're really excited about. So I will start with our elementary Summer Learning Academy. That will take place June 12th through June 29th and July 10th through 27th. Our summer learning opportunities are Monday through Thursday. We don't do Fridays. The hours for this are a little longer than what we're used to, but this is a grant-funded academy this summer with some criteria around the number of hours that we have to have students for instruction. So that's why it's a little longer. There will be 2 locations due to summer maintenance projects. So Sutherland will be one location that will house Sutherland, Midway, and Southside students. Then Dinwiddie Elementary and Sunnyside students will be at the high school. And this is just for grades 2 through 5. So I want to just kind of speak to some students being at the high school. There are many things going on at the high school this summer. But we have worked with Mr. Walters just to ensure a very structured program where our elementary students are kind of in one section, closed off. They have their own administrator, so they will not interact with middle school and high school students. So I do just want to say we've put a lot of things in place to make sure that that is tightly structured. For all of these opportunities that are county run, transportation, breakfast, and lunch are provided. Ms. Elder and her team are working with us, and I know that the food will be wonderful, as it always is. For elementary, it will be a reading and math focus. Again, small class sizes and individualized instruction. I will say academic services, the team, Ms. Valentine, Ms. Brooks, Ms. Spires, Ms. Wolfick, have been working on curriculum and some great learning opportunities for students. So we're very excited about that. Then we have Kindergarten Countdown Camp, which is also exciting. This will be at Sutherland Elementary School. This is a partnership, our 5th year partnering with United Way of Greater Richmond to provide this camp for rising kindergarten students with limited or no preschool experience. We also offer this opportunity if on the kindergarten screener that we give, students score a 40 or less. So even if they've had a preschool experience, but they do score under 40, they can still have this opportunity. Lots of skills that prepare them for kindergarten, even social emotional skills. There are some things for parents to help them with that transition because we know that can be very difficult. Students receive a new book each week, a backpack with school supplies, a museum pass, and it's a 4-week program. This will be housed at Sutherland, and it will accommodate 40 students. Even though it's at Sutherland, students from across the county that meet the criteria will be involved in that camp. Then we have the Middle School Learning Academy, which will be held at the high school. This is in 2 separate sessions. So what middle school staff are doing is looking at different data points for students that meet criteria that need that extra summer crunch. So it'll be 7:30 to 11:30 at the high school. Again, breakfast, lunch, transportation provided. The goal is that class sizes are 10 or less. And what I love about this is it's an integration. So it's a math science integration. It's a reading history integration. So students are kind of getting all of that core content area. The high school summer learning academy is the same times and dates as the middle school. Again, all the things that they need are provided. It's SOL remediation for verified credits, credit recovery, work keys, which is that substitute test for if students haven't passed the reading or writing SOL. Hands-on CPR training, which is a graduation requirement, and also the virtual class for econ and personal finance, which my son was able to do several years ago, which I loved. So lots of opportunities there, serving about 200 students for the high school this summer. This is something new this summer that Ms. Booker and Ms. Brooks have worked on that we're really excited about for our EL learners. So it's an intensive summer learning program. This will be at Sutherland and at Dinwiddie High School. So it will serve newcomers, SLIFE, and proficiency level 1 EL students, grades 2 through 12. So in elementary, the EL teacher is going to push into the classroom to help. At the high school and middle school, there's going to be mostly pull-out for students. And really the goal of this is what our teachers are seeing is so much progress with certain students that they don't want the progress to stop in the summer with their acquisition of the English language. So this will help kind of keep them going, and we're really excited about this program. This is another program that is, we're partnering with the County Workforce Development, Summer Work-Based Learning. So I believe that Mr. George may have hit on this a little bit in his presentation, but Ms. Wolfick and Mr. George have worked on this. This is something we've done for many years. Students in grades 8 through 12, there's an application process and an interview process. It's a 4-week and 8-week paid opportunity, and some students are actually offered a job after this. So last year, 20 students participated. This year, we're planning for 30 to 35 students. They gain experience in pathways that they could be interested in. We partner with local industries, county offices, and school offices. So another great program. Then just for the food service, obviously any students who are going to summer options at the high school or Sutherland are going to be fed. However, at those same locations, anybody in the county, any student 18 and younger, any child 18 and younger, can go to those locations during from 7:30 to about 11:30 and pick up meals as well. So that could be an opportunity for other county residents this summer. This is the program that Ms. Drake with FACE is doing July 10th through 14th in partnership with the County Sheriff's Office. So it will be at 3:30 in communities across the county. More information on that is coming soon. And it'll be about reading, engaging functional text, crafts, games, resources, and there'll be ice cream, which is always wonderful. That's right. And then 2 more opportunities that are also in partnership with the county workforce, which this is a really neat one. So culinary camp. So you want to learn some cooking skills. This will be at the high school. It's 2 days for our 3rd through 5th graders, 2 days for our 6th through 8th graders. And more information about that can be found on the Dinwiddie Workforce social media sites about how to register for that. It is a $25 fee for that one. And they're also offering a cosmetology camp this summer. I didn't have all the information for this yet. It will be at the high school, so I'm sure that for this you can also find more information on their website. But this will be for 9th through 12th graders, July 17th through 20th. So many great opportunities this summer for our young people, and we hope to continue to expand that. So any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of good things going on and choices for students to select and families. The Rwanti update, Ms. Haney.
Okay. We did have a Rwanti board meeting on May the 4th, and the most exciting thing was that the plumbing course has been approved and for the 2023-24 school year. An instructor has been hired, and so they're getting students enrolled into the class. They did have a federal program of review corrective action plan, and Rwanti did extremely well. They received a very good rating, and it says, we commend you and your staff for maintaining your program standards and continuing to meet the industry's requirements. The explosion in automotive technology makes your high-quality automotive training program more valuable than ever. And to acknowledge your accomplishment, we are creating a plaque. So that was a very good report from them. Then we had some new business. They had some recommendations for Rwanti plan of study. And in that, they were recommending different things to be tried for next couple of years. They're looking into expanding to offer mechatronics 1 and 2 combined with programming and cybersecurity to tap into the high growth of potential of IT. Okay, then they're also trying to modify the nurse aid 1 and 2 program to offer condensed in the morning and afternoon session, and a 2-year option that would include using full expand curriculum to intro home health care. They're also trying to develop an initiative for students to strive for 3 of the 4 construction trade programs, carpentry, welding, plumbing, and masonry, and try to get them all combined so that they can be more versed in all of the topics. We also had, for the first time, they had a student, 2 students that went to district competition in auto body and auto tech this year at, one was from Prince George and one was from Sussex. And they went to Virginia Beach for the state competition. And one of the child from Prince George won 3rd place. The child from Sussex won 1st place, and he's going to national. We have never had a child go to national before in that competition. So that was very good news. And they're having an awards ceremony tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. And I think that was about it. I don't know if there's anything else you needed to add.
One thing I thought of was the percentage rate of passage in the certifications is up.
Oh,
which
yes.
We're very pleased at, because coming out of the pandemic, we had some areas that kids weren't passing the certification tests. It was down, the rates were really down like 40% or 50%, but we're back up into the 80s now with people passing those certification
Yeah,
tests.
I think it was a total, like 79.75% of the kids that took the tests passed them.
Yeah.
So they were getting the certifications that they needed.
Which is good. Okay, Code RVA report, followed by the Maggie Walker update. Ms.
Okay,
Benjamin?
yes, Madam Chair, I did attend, Code RVA and Maggie Walker. Thank God they meet on the same date. Code RVA is always a very short meeting. As you can tell, the director and the chair of the board like to keep things moving, so we're there maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, but they get the business done. So the superintendent, the director announced that there are more students applying for dual degrees there, and they're able to accommodate them, and we were very pleased with that. Graduation is May 19th at 10 a.m., and LaBar Stoney will be the speaker. So that was about the gist of Code RVA. And then Maggie Walker, those of you who have served there on their board, they do a lot of recognitions for their staff and also their students. And this year, they have a teacher who's going to be recognized, Carol Love. She received an award or fellowship to study at Oxford this summer, and she's excited about that. And Mr. Jeff Hall, who received a certificate or an award for art and writing, and this certificate will be presented to him in New York. So he was very excited about that. We did approve the budget, contracts, student fees, and the policy update, and also the student calendar. And their graduation is May 26th at 11 a.m. All students, new students, have been registered. 5th Graders Day was April the 22nd. They called that Dragon Day. And on April the 28th was Grandparents' Day. And they're hoping that the 5th graders would be interested in attending Maggie Walker now so they can keep their attendance up. So it's very great things going on over there. I think we don't have any students graduating there this year, so we can watch it in the virtual world. So prayerfully, when we do have students graduating, we'll be able to attend personally.
We have students now in the freshman and sophomore class.
Yes.
Next year, we'll have freshman, sophomore, and junior.
And that's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Golson, are there any citizens who signed to speak? Nobody's on the list. Okay, thank you so much. Board member comments. I'll start down here with, you've done yours already. Ms.
I want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed the student recognitions tonight from all of the students from the high school, middle school, and the runners and everything. but Mr. Gons answered his presentations, answered a question. Yesterday, Mr. Gons, I had a conversation with the person from the old school who did not like change. So she said to me, what are they teaching in these schools now? So do they teach home economics and all this kind? When I went, I learned how to sew and how to cook and all this kind of stuff. So I said, we have culinary arts, but we are doing courses now that pertain to whatever the economy is, what jobs we have to offer. So now I don't have to think about it. I have it firsthand, thanks to you, your staff, and your students, that she has to change. And I'm not going to say any more because Miss Merritt said it all. Thank you. Miss Merritt has one thing.
I just wanted to say one thing. I did attend the high school band, the symphonic
Jazz.
concert band,
Jazz festival.
and the jazz band on
Yesterday.
And I tell you, I was very impressed with both bands, and I see a lot of promising students who are gonna probably major in music, and it's awesome. And Dr. Cunningham and his staff, they're doing an awesome job with the students.
And if you missed it, they're going to be playing at the retirement dinner on Thursday evening.
Oh, good.
Good. Very good. Ms. Haney, any comments?
Not much. I just want to say how much I enjoyed the program today. It was just amazing to see all these kids tell us exactly what they're doing. And Mr. Garnes, keep up the good work up there. And all of the principals, I mean, you know, our schools are really giving these children opportunities that they don't have in other places. And I'm really proud of all of them.
Mr. Smith?
Kind of ditto. Great job, high school. You know, you really knocked out of the ballpark. Like I said, you definitely answered that question. Show them what we do at Dinwiddie High School. And thanks for your leadership. I'd like to congratulate the retirees. You know, we're definitely going to miss them. It's a lot of years that can't be replaced. So they will definitely miss next year. But thanks for the many years of service.
And I would like to say that it is very important for our students to get these certifications, both at the high school, and they were talking about the number of certifications that kids get, and of course at Rwanti, and it helps them not only with jobs, but it looks great on their resume and leads them to other opportunities in their lives. I know kids who got some sort of certification 3, 4, 5 years ago in high school and are still using that certification as they get part-time jobs or full-time jobs. Also, the opportunities for learning, the things that are available to our children are just endless. And if they just take advantage of those, there's just so much that kids can get from participating in a club to taking some of these courses. And there's just so much out there for them to glean, so to speak. I'm also thankful for the mentioning the tutoring, the math tutoring. That is so important. Students learn from students sometimes better than they learn from adults. And one of the great ways for a student to hone their own skills is to teach it to someone else. So thank you for providing that, and I hope we'll keep that going. And student representative comments.
Well, of course I have to comment. It's my last meeting.
That's right.
I just want to say I'm really proud of the middle school and high school highlights and to all the other recognitions. But we have senior Spirit Week this week. So we had senior skip day yesterday. Today was decision day. Tomorrow is dress as your favorite teacher, and I will actually be dressing as Mr. Dalton. So Thursday is senior citizen day, and then we have this senior picnic along with the midway senior walk, which I will be attending. Oh, it's so sad. So we also have the softball game, the DMS staff versus DHS, I believe. I'm also probably going to be attending that. I really would love to see that. But
I just hope the old people don't hurt themselves.
One thing I would love to say though is thank you for having me as student rep. I definitely have learned a lot, and it's been an honor. So Thank you so much. But you did say one thing that is true. I love giving gifts, so I do have a little something for you. But they're tiny bags, so like bear with me. Okay. Okay. So if you want to like keep talking while you're good.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, this is time for superintendent comments.
Yeah,
Would you
so-
like to go ahead?
Of course. I would just like to say, Grace, that, I always tell my own children to surround yourself with people who make you a better person, and you definitely have done that for us these years, and I just appreciate your leadership and your optimism, and you've just done a really great job as a student leader. We've been so blessed to have you here. I feel like I have the best job ever, that especially when I sit here and I listen to teachers and kids tonight. I mean, I just really have a great job, and I'm just so appreciative of that. But, and I just feel like I get to sit up here and kind of, in all that glory. But there's a lot of people, I mean, you look across this room right now, I feel really blessed to be able to work with people who are true servant leaders. It is a joy to come to work every day. We work on the right work. We care about kids. We love one another. It really is a great place to come to work. And so I can't, there's not enough things that I could say. So I'm going to leave you with it. There's no better place to learn, serve, or live than Dinwiddie County.
Dr. Winston, Ms. Pittman, about Grace, I do want to let you all know, and I don't know if your parents are here, but if not, let them know that they raised
Yes.
nice young lady. I don't care where I am outside of school, you always make your way over.
She does.
She
does. Marshall's.
So the story behind that is I was in Marshall's line, and I turn around and I see just. Oh my gosh, it's one of my school board ladies. So
She does.
It's lovely seeing y'all out of school too. It's amazing.
Well, we were at Teen Expos, 3 of us were there,
Yes.
and Miss Minitry got a kick out of the fact that Grace asked to get a picture with her girls, which were us. Miss Minitry said, "Who's Grace's girls?" I said, "I think it's us."
That's so cute.
Well, it's been a good meeting. I know it's been long, but it's been exciting and rewarding, and we need to entertain a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
And all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness.